Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with episode 305. The title of the episode is 13 Habits for Creating Your Best Life by Wayne Dyer. Definitely some wisdom from Dr. Dyer, but let's start out with the quote of the day. Tony Robbins, "What makes people feel alive is having a meaning beyond yourself." And this is such a great quote, interesting quote, because we've discussed many times on this podcast that it's not the events in your life that determine our experience, it's the meaning that we give those events that determines our experience. So it also goes with reason to say that when you have meaning outside yourself, it'll give added meaning to your life. So today we're going to talk about Manifesting 101, the mastering of the art of getting what you want, based on a blog that I got from Wayne Dyer. And he covers these 13 habits to create a life that you want, your best life. So we're going to discuss practical ways you can do that, change your thoughts, activities, and perspective. So let's go ahead and start out. Dr. Dyer talks about a realm or place that's outside your normal level of consciousness that allows you the opportunity to visualize and create what you want in your life. And he talks about how when you get to the realization of this place and your innate ability to access this level of consciousness in your life, you're truly going to become empowered. Now you've got to remember, Dr. Wayne Dyer is a multiple times best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author, and this guy's gone through, when he was alive, he went through so many different phases of his life where he, talked about business and life and relationships and everything that it takes in order to help change your thoughts and change your life. But these 13 habits that I want to go over with you today, I love them because they really incorporate every aspect of your life. So look, maybe you've experienced having this, outside yourself level of influence on your life, or maybe you haven't. But I certainly have learned and come to the conclusion of my life that you can have access to energy, influence, power greater than yourself, and you can use that to help shape your life. And whether you believe it or not, it doesn't make it any less true. There are and there'll always be, ways to tap into the greatness inside of you, and there are ways to pull that outside and get that outside influence as well. And I can say this because no matter where you are in life, you are capable of more. We all are. So you simply have to just make the decision to believe that you're not alone and that you have greatness inside you. And, you'll come to a point in your life that you realize that faith in something outside yourself, it'll help you to achieve the true greatness that you have. And you just need to exercise some faith and some consistency in your daily rituals. So let's go ahead and hit these 13 habits that Dr. Dyer has kind of outlined. Habit 1 is, believe you are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Now this is a concept that at first I didn't kind of know what to think, but I really love this one because rather than thinking that, we're these human beings having a human experience, he suggests that we individually are much more than that. He suggests that we are more than we can imagine and that we're just here having a temporary experience. And the key to understand and believe this is that, you are not your situation. You are not what you're going through. You are something more than that. You're not just limited to this ego, this life, these struggles and things that you experience with. And when you have this sort of awakening, you truly empower the concept that you can do anything and that you're not just limited to your environment, your experiences. So I love that. Habit number 2 is become the observer of your thoughts. Now, you've heard me say this over and over again because what you think about the most, you become, and this is why I like this particular habit so much. You have to become a master at monitoring your thoughts and your feelings. You have to do this so that you can quickly adapt and deal with negative, disempowering thoughts, but also so you can stay on track with what you really desire. Because, staying laser focused on getting what you want is the only way to truly get what you want. And you have to be able to observe and direct your thoughts. Habits number 3 is release your imagination from current limiting circumstances. And now it's important to disconnect from your circumstances and your identity, right? We talk about how you are not your circumstances. You are not your story. You're not limited to the resources and experience that you currently have. And you need to be able to accept, your situation in life, but also realize it's temporary. And that you are the one that's capable of overcoming this and growing past it. So, when you believe that, number 1, you're not your story, and number 2, that you're determined to overcome it no matter what, that's when you truly win, and your mind gets opened up to start using your imagination. And that kind of leads us into habit number 4, which is see your wish or wishes as already accomplished. You got to learn to visualize yourself as already accomplishing your goals. It's not easy, but understand the subconscious mind doesn't really separate the difference between what's real and what's not real. So when you can learn to imagine that your goals have already happened, then your mind will go to work and start helping you to make that happen, as we've talked about in the past. So that's a great habit, number 4. Number 5, believe in your own divine power. Now, Dr. Dyer would, I'll tell you what, it's a belief that you never give up on your dream without being able to truly understand that you're not alone trying to accomplish it, right? Dr. Dyer talks a lot about how you have this divine power and you have something more than yourself. But I think when you can start to have faith and confidence in something outside yourself, your belief increases and you can truly accomplish great things because you don't feel limited to who you believe you are right here. Okay, habit number 6, remain independent of the good opinion of other people. This is really important, especially in today's world, to clarify, what you want. Get the picture of what you want in your life. But it's just as important to have faith in yourself and your intentions and not get caught up in whatever everyone thinks about what you're doing. When you allow these distractions, they're just going to keep you from moving forward in your life. When you allow other people's opinions to kind of hold you back and affect what you do and where you go, it's going to make a major, major change in sometimes your consistency. And you can't allow yourself to get distracted by those kind of things. So remaining independent of the good opinion of others, I think, is a great habit. Habit number 6, reconstruct your I ams. Now, in order to attract abundance in your life, you need to think abundantly, right? So the problem is that too many of us are focused on what we lack or what we don't have, and we need to get very clear and identify what we want and shift into this state where we can visualize that it's already happened. And it's simply a process, a habit you need to teach yourself. You have to shift from I want this or I'm going to do this to I am and I have. There's a massive power in your ability to act as if and visualize in your mind that the events have already happened. So I really love this habit specifically. Habit number 8, and this is a tough one for a lot of people. Be patient and banish doubt. Because I know it can be difficult to condition your mind in a new way like, Dr. Dyer suggests, but it's so important for you to be patient and allow yourself time and patience and understanding to make changes in your life. Because it's going to take work. It's going to take time. We underestimate what we can do in 5 years and overestimate what we can do in the next 6 to 12 months, right? So be patient with yourself, and you're just growing and adopting this long-term focus, and it's going to be a process. And so you've got to be patient, and being patient will allow you to kind of get rid of some of those doubts in your mind because you're not so focused on the result in the short term. All right, habit number 9. Oh, and by the way, one more thing that I'll kind of note that's helped me is that it can be really difficult sometimes to have faith and belief in yourself and the fact that you can accomplish these things. But if you can adopt the faith and confidence that no matter what, you're never going to give up, then that is something you can truly believe in, that I'm not going to give up no matter what, and it doesn't matter the outcome. And when you do that, some big things can happen. So that helps you to get rid of some of that doubt. But back to habit number 9, align yourself with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, visualizing yourself accomplishing your goal is one part, but creating present-day affirmations is another, right? And then taking it one step further is this habit, which is that he says that you have to be able to feel what it's like so that you can clearly align yourself with this thing being accomplished. And you can do this by just putting yourself in the situation and trying to think about what the emotions are that you will feel when you're there. He notes that Einstein kind of made that observation that logic is going to get you from point A to point B, but your imagination is going to take you anywhere. And so your logic has to, it's gotten to you where you are to this point in your life, but you've got to learn to tap into your imagination. And the best way to do that is to start to learn to create the emotions or the feelings. And we can all do that because we just need to visualize a time when we were happy or accomplished or recognized or a winner or whatever it is, and that feeling can kind of come back because feelings are something you can bring up at any time. Okay, it takes us to habit 10. And this is to create your best life, right? Habit 10, take stock of how natural your dream feels to you. There's a quote that I really like. The time it takes your desire to become reality is in direct proportion to the naturalness of it being it. The more natural an experience your wish feels for you, the faster you'll create it in your life. On the other hand, the more unnatural a state feels to you, the longer it's going to take to accomplish. And that's something that, I've kind of written down that quote before because it's one that Dr. Dyer has talked about. And you have to find a way to make things be natural. This ties really closely to the concept that my partner Robert talks about with defining your unique talent. This is something that you're excellent at, passionate about, that feels natural to you. And when you do that, things will happen a lot quicker for you as well. Okay, habit number 11, phrase your intentions as given statements. So there's a power in writing out these intentions and reading them every day. Sometimes we think that spending time focused on our goals and dreams is enough, but I really think writing them down, studying them, repeating them, I've done this before. Sometimes I've recorded them and played them back to myself while I'm driving home from the gym or whatever. Spend time putting your statements of what you're planning and your intentions in written form and going through those every single day. That's a great habit for sure. Habit number 12, choose your reality with love. Now, I like how Wayne Dyer talks about this habit because he talks about how our goals and desires can really, at points, be driven by our need to win and create status and gain recognition and basically influence and power through things. But they very often become driven by your ego, right? So when you come to a place of ego, that's when you need to realize that a place of love and understanding can help you adopt much more power and influence in your life. It's a very powerful emotion, and if you utilize that, you can drive and adopt a whole lot more results in your life. And so that's a great one as well. Habit 12. Habit 13. This is the last one on 13 habits to create a life that you love and a life that you were meant to live. Is know that what you already have is enough. This idea of power of gratitude, it always keeps coming back up, right? You have to learn to practice gratitude for what you have, because until you practice gratitude for what you have, it's highly unlikely you're going to get more. And so I like the quote that I've had before from the Dalai Lama where he says, happiness is wanting what you have rather than having what you want. And this is a philosophy that I think will really help you to accomplish and have more in your life if you'll adopt it. Those are the 13 habits. I'll run through those one more time for you real quick. The first habit is believe you're an infinite spiritual being having temporary human experience. Habit 2 is become the observer of your thoughts. Habit 3 is release your imagination from current limiting circumstances. Habit 4 is see your wishes as already accomplished. Habit 5 is believe in your own divine power. Habit 6 is remain independent of the good opinion of other people. And habit 7 is reconstruct your I ams. Habit 8 is be patient and banish doubt. Habit 9, align yourself with the feelings of the wish fulfilled. Habit 10, take stock of how natural your dream feels for you. 11 is phrase your intentions as given statements. 12, choose your reality with love. And 13, know that what you already have is enough. Ultimately, we all have unlimited untapped potential. You have everything inside you to become the best version of yourself and create this amazing life. And the key just really becomes uncovering this best version of yourself. It's like when Michelangelo was carving that world-renowned statue of David and said that he wasn't carving out the form, he was simply removing and chipping away the stone from the sculpture that was not needed. And we have to view that same process for ourselves. You just need to become more of the greatness you already have and uncover and unleash your true potential. So I hope this is a message, ideas, inspiration, maybe a little motivation that'll help you to create that in your life. And I appreciate you listening today. I look forward to talking with you a little bit more tomorrow. Once again, this is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind.